I am back here. I'm taking a break from my normal unboxing videos and reviews and impressions and all the other stuff that I usually do on Tuesday, and occasionally like a news video if it's a big event. But I'm actually going to talk about a big event because I'm going to talk about the upcoming Apple event and what it is that I'm excited about as we check it out. So, next month is iPhone season, so I just kind of wanted to do a different kind of video, a little bit more laid back, and just talk about what I'm excited about with the Apple stuff that's probably going to get announced next month. So aside from the new phone, let's put that to the side for a second, we have their TV service that's supposed to be out fall, which, you know, it's coming right up, and then you also have the gaming service. So I'm honestly not too excited about the TV service because I feel like it's getting a bit oversaturated. Like, I'm going to try it for sure when it comes out, but it's not something I'm like, oh god, I gotta have this TV service from Apple because they haven't shown anything that compelling. That being said, I think with fall coming up, they have to give us some kind of pricing and availability. Like, it has to happen. Like, Disney announced after Apple, and they're way ahead of Apple right now. They got people excited for their service, so I feel like Apple has to do something next month to kind of bring some attention back to them and let people know, hey, we're releasing a service this fall too. And then the gaming service, I'm actually curious about. I'm curious to see what the pricing is going to be with that and what kind of games they're going to offer. And I think it's big that iOS 13 is going to finally support like PS4 and Xbox controllers, which I wish Apple would have done a long time ago, because the controllers that they had, like, obviously if you want to play some serious games on like your iPad or Apple TV or iPhone, those controllers sucked. I have one. I bought one around the time we bought our 4K Apple TV in hopes that, you know, I was like, oh, I can play some games. I had like GTA 5. I have all the GTA, or not all of them, but I have 3 Vice City and San Andreas for iPhone and iPad, and I was like, this would be cool to kind of play it with the controller. But the controller sucked, and then half the games, because Apple hasn't supported controllers really on their platform or made it mandatory, they just don't support it, like Knights of the Old Republic. At least last I checked. I haven't probably checked in about a year or so, but that's another game I have on mobile that would be great with a controller, but last I checked it just didn't work. So it's great to see them including controller support. This is already an announced thing. They had WWDC earlier this year, and they announced the iOS 13 stuff. So that stuff's not going to be new. I guess the things that I'm most excited to see more about, the TV service, the game streaming service. Now, the iPhone's just been leaked out so many times. It's happened, and it's not just Apple. It's pretty much happened with every major phone release. Like, it just keeps happening. The Note 10 got leaked. That just released last week. I kind of forgot to cover that. And it's not that I don't follow other phones, because I do. When I was doing my news video, I just completely forgot. I was like, oh crap, the Note 10 came out this week. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that after I get over this Apple stuff. But yeah, the Note 10 had their leaks. Obviously, Google's had some major leaks, but they've kind of just confirmed everything. And I wonder how that's going to play out in their favor. Like, is that going to make people less excited when their conference comes up, or is it going to make them more excited because they've kind of given out so many details about the phone? We'll see, but it's been different with Google and them acknowledging the leaks. I mean, what else are you going to do, really? Like, you don't acknowledge it, and then you come to the show, and it's like, oh, everybody already knows what's going to be there. And I feel like that's what it's going to be with the iPhone this year. So here I have my XS Max. I'm not going to upgrade this year. Last year, my first video solo was actually my expectations of the Apple event, which at this point was 11 months ago, because I think I did that video in early September. So I just kind of wanted to come full circle and kind of do another expectations video, except last year around this time I still had my iPhone 7 Plus, and I was definitely ready to upgrade. I upgraded to the XS Max, and I've been kind of like lukewarm on it. Like, it's not I think I was just disappointed because it wasn't as big of an upgrade as I wanted. Like the camera is a little bit better than my last phone. The screen's bigger, but that's pretty much it to me at least. Face ID, I do like Face ID better than Touch ID. I think I've said that plenty of times. Like Touch ID, like my hands are just, I don't know what's wrong with my hands, but like Touch ID just doesn't work for me. Like it rarely ever worked for me. So I always end up putting in my passcode. Face ID for me works a lot better. I really wanted the OLED on the phone, and then I got the OLED on the phone because I've had an OLED TV for like 3 years now. And then I was like, you know, it's cool, but I just really don't even notice it that much. I guess because the screen's so small. I'm like, dang, I wrote off the 10R last year. Like, I was so negative on it after I watched the press conference. I was like, there's too many compromises, blah, 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 blah. Camera. But I was also in a different spot because when I started the YouTube channel last year, not this channel, because this channel started this year in January, but our original channel, which was Jeff and Mike's Super Cool Podcast, which a lot of these videos started on. Like, that's when I started doing the news videos. I have some unboxing videos up there. A lot more cursing. A lot more adult content, inappropriate content. I've scaled it back a little bit. But that's where I started at. So, at that time, my priority was getting the best camera. And I kind of wrote the 10R off because I was like, single camera? I've had dual cameras for years. And, like, completely dismissed it camera-wise. And now I'm like, I should have got that phone because I feel like this phone's too big and I don't care about the OLED, and I spent like almost $1,400 on this phone. And I just feel like it was a huge waste of money, but like I'm already almost a year in. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm just going to stick it out unless the iPhone 11 is compelling enough to upgrade to, which from the leaks, I don't see anything for me as a user that's like, I got to have that. Like, I'm fine with the camera up here. I know they're going to do the triple camera array because, you know, everybody's got to have that third lens now. And it's starting to feel like, I mean, I know that there's definitely value in having the wide angle lens, especially when taking like a group photo or something like that, or taking a landscape picture. But I just kind of feel like since smartphones have gotten a little stagnant, everybody has to hop on these trends. And I feel like that's kind of the triple camera thing right now. Like, not saying that it's not really a gimmick because you are getting something out of it, but you know, now it's like, oh, every phone's got to have it. Every phone's got to have it, or it's not a flagship, and it's just like, it's not even, like, it's not fun anymore. Like, there's not a lot of innovation, and we're not going to get to that point where we were before, where there was like leaps every 2 years. Like, you get a new phone and it's significantly faster than your old one. You get these new software features. The software is so mature now on both Android and iOS side, which is a good thing, honestly, but Apple's not really selling their phones with these features like they used to. But it's also a reason for you to just stay with your current phone, especially if you just upgraded last year. Like, if you have the 10R or the 10S or the 10S Max, I don't think that this is going to be a compelling reason to upgrade. Other than that, it's still keeping the same lightning port, which I think at first I was mad about. Like, last year when I got the iPad, and I saw USB-C and I fell in love with it and all that stuff. Now that the honeymoons kind of wore off and I thought about it, like, I really rarely ever plug my phone in. Like, since I got wireless charging, like, I've maybe charged this phone with the cord like 3 times. Now, I do use the cord for Apple CarPlay, but I don't think that would make that much of a difference having USB-C versus having Lightning. And the cord that I use for it just stays in the car, so it's not like it's more convenient. Like, oh, I can have this lightning cord in the car, because there's nothing else I really plug in the car. So, to me, like, it would be kind of cool from the standpoint of unifying their product lines, because you have the MacBook Pro, you have the iPad Pro, and they're both on USB-C, and then you have the iPhone on Lightning, you have the older iPad on Lightning, you have the Air on Lightning. So, as far as unifying their line under one single charger, like, kind of like they used to, except for the MacBook's always been on their own separate thing. But this is like the closest that we've really been to having like a unified charger that can charge your MacBook, your iPad, your iPhone. So from that standpoint, it's cool. The rumor is it's going to be next year, and I do think that they'll get there because it makes the most sense, especially when you talk about Apple and them being about convenience. So that's pretty much it for the iPhone. It's probably going to be faster. is gonna have the camera bump. Other than that, the front, from what the rumors are, is gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same models, the 5.8, the 6.5, the two OLED models, and then the 6.1 inch LCD model, whatever they call it. New rumor actually popped up recently that they're gonna call the bigger phone the Pro, and if they do that, then hopefully they add some other features. That was another thing that's disappointing about this phone. It's so big and it's kind of frustrating because it's like, I wanted the bigger phone because I was like, oh, I get all this screen. What am I going to do with it? And there's like no extra features with the Max. It was just literally a bigger version of the other two phones. So if the Pro rumor is true, which I don't know about that. I don't think they're going to make a big leap this year as far as the bigger phones. I could be completely wrong, but if that rumor is true, then I need to see some kind of Pro level features, maybe some kind of multitasking. Like, this screen, in my opinion, is big enough where you could have two like old school iPhone size screens to do the multitasking like you can on the iPad. And what are they doing with all this processing power? Like, that's the reason that this phones feel so stagnant. It's like you keep throwing faster processors, but the phone's not getting any faster because the software is like nothing in the software is pushing the hardware. So yeah, like, you buy this and you're future proof, but it's also kind of disappointing. Like, I really want some more features to go with this hardware that I spent all this money on. With that being said, it's not an upgrade year for me. Maybe some people who have been on some older iPhones might upgrade this year, but I'm probably gonna stick with this one. Hopefully there's something that surprises me with the iPhone, because I really like, there's a reason I still have an iPhone. As much as I just went on this rant, there's a lot that I like about it. I like how stable the software is. I like the integration with the other Apple products that I have. And it's just familiar. Like, it's familiar to me, and everything that I do is super fast and snappy. I really do like it. But I need something more. I need something more software-wise. It's not even the hardware at this point. I know a lot of people like the notch and all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I need something more software-wise, especially with the bigger phones. And I guess I'll touch on the Note 10 really quick. So yeah, so Samsung released the Note 10 last week in two sizes. So of course, the thing with the Note 10 is it kind of is like what the Mac should be, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it needs a stylus like the Note 10 has, but it offers some features like split screen multitasking. It's faster, has a bigger battery. It's got a different design, like it's slightly different. The pinhole punches in the middle. They removed the headphone jack, which some people are going to be mad about. I personally never cared. I was already using Bluetooth headphones by the time Apple removed their headphone jack, so I literally didn't care at that point. And this harkens back, I haven't talked about it in a while, but I used to ride my bike a lot, so I would have headphones in my pocket, and then the wires would bend, so I was going through wired headphones every 2 months. And then finally I made the jump to some cheap, like, now they would probably be $5 Bluetooth headphones, but back in the day they were like $35 or something like that. They were really cheap, but like the sound quality wasn't great, but just to not have the wire there when I was riding my bike, and like I was just wrapping around my neck when I wasn't on my bike, and it was so much more convenient than having the wire get messed up and buying headphones every 2 months. And those cheap, crappy headphones lasted me a whole year. They actually didn't break. I just ended up upgrading to new ones. But that was my main reason for switching. Like, it's such a dumb thing, but that's why I didn't care. A lot of people are gonna be mad about the headphone thing and saying that Apple caused it. I think that Bluetooth headphones are the future. Obviously, there's latency issues. It's not gonna work for everybody. People who are creative types, like who do video and music, are probably not gonna use Bluetooth headphones. That's the bottom line. I think the Galaxy Note 10 looks pretty cool. I'll probably go try one in the store because that's how I try products now. I can't afford to buy more than one phone, so I'm sticking with the iPhone. I'm sorry, y'all, for now. Maybe eventually I get to the point where I get to test other phones. That'd be awesome. But it is something that I want to get my hands on. Anyway, I rambled a lot. Like I said, different kind of video. But if you enjoyed it, remember to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.